Howdy y'all, Dean Satilli here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead and music news, reporting on night 6, Dead & Company summer tour. The band was in Darien Lake. I'm here at the Satilli Amphitheater in my backyard. So I'm gonna have to get this done in one take because it's hotter than 2 rats screwing in a wool sock out here. So let's just get it underway. You get the grungy chords that are gonna start this show off. Viola Lee. This is a good sound and a good sign of things to come. This is a Mayer on the Super Eagle. I love to hear that. This is just a superior sounding guitar for Grateful Dead music, and it was great to hear that thing back in the mix. It seemed to me at the time like the Viola Lee was like Cliff Notes, seemed a bit abbreviated, but they'd catch up with that later in the show. So we get the Cold Rain and Snow next, and that's just fine. A Stranger develops out of that. The mix at home was fantastic. I'm not sure what it was like at the show, but at home the mix was great. Everybody seemed exactly where they should be, and it's really with John on the Super Eagle. This is sounding good. Ship of Fools up next. Love Ship of Fools. To me, that one is splitting up the lyrics and stuff. Mayer's voice is the Sunburn. O'Teal's is the Aloe. That's how I heard that. A really, really good take on it. I absolutely loved it. Friend of the Devil, you got Mickey. He's looking in his bag of tricks for things he can use to hit stuff that don't make any noise, and I think he found a half a tambourine or something back there. That was fun. Good job on that. Loose Lucy up next, and Loose Lucy was just fine. It seemed like the pace throughout on this show was dynamite. I really liked it. No Speedway had nothing new to say, but I thought the jams were throughout were outstanding, and really the sound of the guitar Mayer's playing with it makes a huge difference. It's a much better sounding guitar, in my opinion, for Grateful Dead music. So during intermission, everybody's wondering what's up with the headphones. Is Mayer listening to something more interesting? What's going on? Apparently, it texts Gary Lambert during the halftime show to say it's hearing protection to prevent further hearing loss. If you've listened to sob rock, those headphones might have come a year late. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. It's very interesting here. So we get the jam. Band comes back out for the second set. We get the jam underway. What's it going to be? It's the jam they do before Truckin'. I thought Truckin' sounded great. I thought that was another one that didn't suffer with pace issues. It was powerful. That was packing a punch. They wound it up just right. You get the full release at the end. O'Teal dropping the bomb. That's just when that wave of euphoric low-end goodness just comes right through you, and bam, I see you saw everybody just having a blast with that. Thought it sounded great. During the jam, the kind of left trucking, Jeff signaled a little Uncle John's, and then the rest of the band just kind of doodled around a little bit, started seeming like this may be turning into playing instead. Indeed, it was playing. So Billy got lost a little bit in the beginning there, quickly regained his footing, and that one picked up just fine. Not too much to back him up when Mickey's playing with sponges and shit, but he got it together just fine. No big deal. The jams throughout that were incredibly groovy, and then it was interesting. Out of that, they give the note, and I'm thinking, is this a super slow China Cat? Is that what's going on here? And it wasn't. It was back to Viola Lee, so there you go. Thought it was a little abbreviated to open things up. It comes back to get finished. I thought it was outstanding. I thought it was great the way that kind of became China Cat. Those two blended together ideally, and I thought it was wonderful. China Cat, this was a good one. Great jams and pace throughout. So the transition jam was powerful, and instead of riding it right into the rider, for some reason they came to almost a complete stop before picking up the rider again. It seems like they were just cruising just right, and the whole band seemed to get off the train at the wrong stop. And anyway, they got back on it, and then they started again, and we're on our way. There we go. This was good stuff. we're going to talk a little bit about Charlie Watts. Rock and peace, Charlie, Mr. Watts. It's interesting thoughts on Charlie Watts. And I'm a drummer. I played the drums as a kid. That was my thing. And one of the things I loved about Billy and Mickey, and I like a lot of different kinds of drummers. I listen to a lot of guys out there that are very flashy and do a lot of really fast. I love Tony Royster Jr. and Dave Weckl and guys that just do some crazy stuff. Charlie Watts was one of those guys that did it so simply. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminded me of Gene Krupa and Buddy Guy. You watch Buddy Guy and you listen to Buddy Guy. What the fuck am I talking about? Buddy Rich. You listen to Buddy Rich and you watch him, and Buddy Rich is doing shit that you just don't think, you just realize he's just better than everyone else. You can't do that shit. There's a fast hands and crazy stunts, and that was Buddy Rich. And Gene Krupa, he was right there in the pocket at all times, not nearly as complex, almost made you think, I can probably do that. And anybody that plays knows you probably can't do it nearly as good as he can, if you can do it at all. But simplicity done so well that it's unbelievable. And that's what Charlie Watts was like. Charlie Watts, you listen and you think, well, surely, and you watch him, surely I can pull that off, and you can't, not like Charlie Watts could. He was the heartbeat of one of the greatest bodies of music the world will ever know. And so rock and peace, Charlie. You were the man. Anyway, so they're going to pay tribute. I've been hoping they would play the last time since this band started. I think it's perfect for the band. I think it's great on Weir. Your piece of musical history, you want to hear Weir at his very best. 9/9/91 at Madison Square Garden. That last time is outstanding. Weir killing it at the end of that. Goes into a do that's Dynamite. Encore with the Mighty Quinn. Put your ears to that. I've mentioned it before. I love it. I have to mention it again with them doing the last time. I was thrilled to hear that. Thought it was outstanding. Drums was great. So all three guys out there just killing it. Space, extremely entertaining. Now you got Uncle John's. We get Uncle John's out of Space. That sounds good. Here we go. Mayer, he's back on his signature PRS, the one that caused him to all of a sudden need hearing protection. That's interesting. Anyway, some serious upgrades in the first row. Instead of old guys with do-rags on their head, we got a bunch of cuties there having a blast, dancing their hearts out. That was a lot of fun. It looked like everybody there was having a blast. Camera pans around. We got Captain and fucking Tennille jamming out. This is a good song. Love will keep us together. So here we go. Hearing like some other ones. Is it turned into the other ones? So all of a sudden I'm listening to John on a signature guitar. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe I need headphones too. The finishing segment, the end segment there of Uncle John's is outstanding. And I wanted to point something out here. The Uncle John's great. You listen to the harmonies at the end of Uncle John's, and they're outstanding. They're really good. I thought they sound great. They get into me. So that one, that's deep. That can get below the surface. And then they play Wharf Rat next. So these two are right next to each other. The harmonies in Wharf Rat are fucking terrible. When Mayer is in falsetto, the harmonies are awful. The end of Uncle John's, when he's in his natural voice, those harmonies can get below the surface and really reach something deep within. So probably they tried that on Wharf Rat. It'd probably be a better sounding song. I think the harmonies on that song are just bad. Anyway, stark contrast compared to the harmonies you got at the end of Uncle John's, which were tremendous. It's an incredibly interesting jam at the end of all that. So Jeff brings back playing. It's just a beautiful moment. Really, to me, this thing is fantastic all the way through. The playing reprise, I thought, was a great way to close things out. Knocking on Heaven's Door, listen to harmonies on that. Great again, really good. Mayor killed it. It's interesting. It seems as though at the points everybody's at in their life, Weir may deserve to sing that one a little bit more than anybody else, but Mayer sounds much better on it. So Weir, it seemed a little contrived to me. His emotion seemed like he seemed like an actor in a movie more than an artist having a sincere moment. I could be wrong, whatever. He's great. He's fucking Weir. He's a legend. I love him forever. But it just seems a little contrived sometimes when you're trying to add something to that stuff. It didn't matter. It didn't take anything away from the show, in my opinion. I thought Darien Lake was outstanding. Absolutely loved it from beginning to end. And that's why we take this stuff in. We'll see you after SPAC. Hopefully you don't get a stinker at SPAC. We'll see you after SPAC. Love you forever. Talk to you soon.